The second kind of reason for learning activities is asking students to engage with knowing that or knowing what. In other words, knowing about the information or the ideas that are in a text because you think they're important and they need to do something with that information. So this is information that is typically about things, that is subject to verification, that can be replicated, that is consistent. Information that is accepted as fairly true. So you can see, again, using the text, how experts differ from novices, that I'm doing a different kind of reading now, one that focuses on knowing that. So one of the things I want you, my sample students, to pay attention to are the ideas here that we're accepting as true in this text. Research shows that it's not simple general abilities such as memory or intelligence, nor the use of general strategies that differentiate experts from novices. Instead, experts have acquired extensive knowledge that affects what they notice and how they organize, represent, and interpret information. This, in turn, affects their abilities to remember, reason, and solve problems. So that is a given, and if you were pretend students in my class, or the students who actually will be in my class next quarter, I would really want you to focus on that. Then, here again, we see a list of things that I'm going to say you have to know these things. These are really important ideas that you're going to be expected to apply later. So pay attention to these ideas. They are numbered. That would signal to you they're pretty important. And there are ideas here that you're going to be expected to act on, and that you also might be tested on in a quiz if you wanted to build a knowledge quiz or a knowledge check quiz into GauchoSpace. So I've gone through the text. I have continued to highlight things that are important about knowing that. For example, masters were more likely to recognize meaningful chess configurations and realize the strategic implication of the situations. This allowed them to consider possible sets of moves that were superior to others. Again, these are all ideas that I want to make sure that students know, that they know that this is the case. And I've gone through the text and continued to highlight these important ideas. Superior recall ability of experts here has been explained in terms of how they chunk various elements of a configuration. That is, they make meaningful, knowledgeable, connected lines between discrete ideas that enable them to sort of chunk them or clump them together. And their formation of those meaningful chunks is informed by an underlying function or strategy, really important. So this is all about knowing that. Now, again, here you can see I have skipped large portions of the text because these are subsequent studies. And for my purposes, they provide more information about the same thing, but in this particular instance, I'm saying they're not as important. What you really need to know that are the things I've highlighted here. Again, returning to that summary paragraph at the end of the reading, or this portion of the reading, the idea that experts recognize features and patterns that are not noticed by novices is potentially important for improving instruction, and so on. So these are things that I would want students to know that. They are facts, they are things that are subject to verification, that can be replicated, that are consistent, that I would very likely ask them in a knowledge check quiz on GauchoSpace. In the reading, check which one of these is true about novice expert practices, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's knowing that.